Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. We love to get into really interesting music here, and today we're going global, like far out there global to Namibia, Southern Africa. Have you heard of Proklaim?
I have, yeah. His stuff's really cool.
Yeah, he's making a huge splash in the hip-hop world, but with a really unique twist, and we are so excited to dive into his latest single with you.
Yeah.
It's called Celebrate.
Awesome.
And huge thanks to Dulaxi for sponsoring this deep dive.
Yes, thank you, Dulaxi.
Right, so Celebrate. Let's talk about this fusion of hip-hop and Afrobeat. It's like Proklaim's signature.
It is, and it's so well done. Like, you can tell that every single element has been meticulously placed. He's thought about it, and it works.
So for people who maybe haven't explored these genres as deeply, what makes this fusion so unique? Like, what are we listening for?
So you've got hip-hop coming out of, the U.S., very rhythmic, very lyrical, lots of storytelling, very poetic. And then you have Afrobeat, which comes out of West Africa, and it's all about those driving rhythms, right? It's super high energy and really gets you moving. And so to combine those two...
It's genius.
It's amazing and so unique.
Yeah, and you hear it right away. Like in that intro, it's like, it starts off with this soft, almost like... I don't even know how to describe it. Like
ethereal?
Yes, ethereal. Thank you. Female vocal. And then Proklaim comes in. Bam.
Yes.
It's like, all right, party started.
The energy shifts immediately. And it's so cool because it draws you right in,
Yes.
You're kind of lulled into this, chill vibe. And then all of a sudden you're like, woo, here we go.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like that throughout the whole song. And the way the instruments are arranged is incredible. Yeah. You've got that bass line, deep, rhythmic.
Oh, yeah.
And those vibrant drum patterns you can't not move.
It makes you want to dance.
You got to dance, and then he's got those kind of jazzy chords and all these little melodic details sprinkled in.
Right, and it creates this auditory landscape. You know what I mean? It's not just boom, boom, boom. It's there's texture, there's depth. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, so it's a sonic journey, but it's also lyrically, it's so powerful.
Absolutely.
It's not just about partying, it's about victory and self-empowerment and gratitude. Right. All these really deep themes.
It's inspirational,
It is.
You come away from listening to this and you're like, I can do anything.
I know, I was going to say it's a personal story, but then it's so universal,
Totally.
Everyone can relate to it in some way.
Everyone's felt those feelings.
And the way he delivers those lyrics too.
Yeah.
There's something about his rap style. It's almost
preachy, almost
preachy, yes, like a sermon, but in the best way.
That's a really good way.
Adds weight to it.
It makes you listen.
And you believe it.
Absolutely.
And he's so good at navigating the rhythm and flow. He switches it up effortlessly.
He does. He does.
Keeps the energy high the whole time. I don't even know how he does it. He makes it look so easy.
He makes it look easy, and I think that's a sign of a true master, right? When you're that skilled at something, it flows, and you don't even think about it.
And we can't forget about that female vocal. It keeps coming back.
Right.
This beautiful recurring element. It adds so much.
It's like the icing on the cake.
It is.
It just adds that extra layer of richness and texture. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like they're having a conversation, back and forth throughout the song.
A musical dialogue.
Yes, exactly.
It's brilliant.
Okay, but can we talk about the production quality for a sec? It's so good.
Oh my gosh, it's pristine.
It's the mix is so clean, you can hear everything.
Everything, all the instruments have space to breathe, right?
Yeah, and the bass and percussion are so well defined, but it's not overwhelming.
Right, it's perfectly balanced. It's amazing.
Proklaim's vocals are so clear too.
Yeah, you can hear every single word.
And even the way the transitions between sections are handled, it's so smooth,
It's seamless. You don't even notice it happen, and you're just swept along for the ride.
Exactly. And it goes back to what you were saying earlier, it's a sonic journey.
Absolutely.
It takes you somewhere.
It's he's leading you by the hand through this incredible musical landscape.
And speaking of the sonic landscape, that opening, I just keep coming back to it.
I know, it's so good.
It's just so captivating. The way it starts with that soft female vocal, it's it pulls you in,
It's just like a whisper in your ear.
Yes. And then Proklaim comes in and it's
explosion.
Yes. Bam, the party started.
The energy just explodes.
And then those drums, oh my gosh.
His drums, so
those drum patterns, they're so vibrant. Like, it's that Afrobeat influence, right?
It is, yeah. It's like that driving force that keeps the song moving.
Yeah, and it's layered with that deep, pulsating bass line.
Ugh, it's so groovy.
You can't not move to it.
It's impossible to sit still when that comes on.
And then he adds in those jazzy chords. Like, I love that element.
Me too. It's such a nice touch. It adds like a sophistication to it, you know?
It's like raw energy, but also refined. It's like, how does he do that?
He's a genius. I don't know.
And the lyrics, we can't forget about the lyrics.
Oh, absolutely. The lyrics are so important in this song.
It's not just about partying. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, so much deeper. It's about like overcoming challenges and celebrating your victories.
Yeah, and being grateful for what you have.
And believing in yourself.
And it's all delivered with such conviction. Like, you can tell he really means what he's saying.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much honesty in his voice.
And I think that's what makes it so relatable, you know?
Totally. Everyone's been through tough times. Everyone's had to overcome obstacles.
And it's like he's saying, hey, it's okay to celebrate those wins, no matter how big or small.
And to be grateful for the journey, even when it's hard.
And he does it all while sounding so cool and effortless.
I know, right? It's like he's just flowing with the music.
It's amazing. And that female vocal, it just adds this otherworldly element.
He's like an angel singing in the background.
It's so beautiful, and it complements his voice so well.
They create this really interesting sonic texture together.
It's like a conversation. Like they're responding to each other.
Yeah, a musical dialogue. It's fantastic.
And he's such a good storyteller, not just with the lyrics, but with the music itself.
Right, like the song has a narrative arc. It takes you on a journey.
And ultimately, it leaves you feeling like inspired and uplifted.
Like you can conquer anything.
Exactly. It's a reminder to celebrate life, to be grateful, and to keep pushing forward. You know, it's really incredible how he can take these like really complex themes and just make them sound so like catchy.
Yeah.
Like you want to dance, but also think.
Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of it, right? It's not just surface level, there's depth.
Yeah, there's so many layers to it. Like, you know, we've talked about the genres and the arrangements and the lyrics. Like, it all comes together.
It's a complete package, and it showcases, I think, his talent.
Yes.
As a musician and an artist, to be able to, you know, blend all these things together and still have a cohesive sound.
I know. And like, it's Namibian hip hop, but it feels so global.
It does. It has this universal appeal.
Yeah, it's like he's taken his roots.
Right.
And then just like infused them with all these other influences from around the world.
It's like a melting pot of sounds.
It is. It is. And like you hear the Afrobeat, you hear the jazz. There's even like a little bit of electronic music in there.
It's very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah. And I think that just speaks to his like musical curiosity, you know?
Absolutely. He's not afraid to experiment.
No. He's not afraid to push boundaries at all. And I think that's really evident in the lyrics too.
Yeah, for sure. Like we were saying before, he's not talking about the typical hip hop stuff.
No, it's not about, you know, the bling in the cars.
Not at all. It's about something much more meaningful.
Yeah, it's like resilience, self-belief, gratitude.
Like those are the things that really matter, you know?
Yeah, especially these days. Like it's so easy to get caught up in the negativity.
Right. The world can feel really overwhelming sometimes.
And it's like Proklaim's music is this like breath of fresh air, you know?
It's a reminder to focus on the good.
Yeah, to celebrate the wins.
To be grateful for what you have.
And to keep going, even when things are tough.
To keep striving for your goals.
But I think that's a message that anyone can relate to, you know?
Absolutely. It doesn't matter where you're from or what kind of music you usually listen to.
This is something that speaks to everyone. And the way he does it, it's just so like artful, you know?
Yeah, it's like he's not just making music. He's creating an experience.
Yeah, it's like a journey.
And he's inviting you to come along with him.
And that's what makes him so special, you know?
It's that vulnerability, that willingness to share his story and connect with people on a deeper level.
I think that's a great way to put it. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Celebrate, I want to leave you with this thought, like how can we all kind of bring this energy into our own lives, you know?
Right. Like how can we find those moments of triumph and gratitude in the everyday?
Yeah. Even when things are crazy and chaotic, like it's a reminder that it's possible to find those moments.
And to celebrate them, to really appreciate them.
And to keep striving for them. So thank you all so much for joining us on this deep dive into Proklaim's Celebrate.
It was such a pleasure exploring this incredible track with you.
I hope you're feeling inspired and uplifted.
And ready to go out there and celebrate life.
Until next time, keep the music playing.